Hello, happiness abounders, and welcome back. So excited for you joining us today as we continue our conversation all about goals and confidence and organization, kind of a triple threat theme week this week. So today I want to talk about how you have achieved goals in the past and essentially using the tools you have now to build your confidence and get your goals. So the first question I have for you is how do you get your goals now? What are you doing now and what's working and what's not working? Part of that organizational piece is understanding what's working for you, what's not working for you, and then utilizing the tools you have now, the understanding you have now, to really hone in on why what's not working isn't working and why what is working is working. So for me, I know that I cannot do something just for the sake of doing it. I have to have a really strong why. I also know that I do better if it's connected to things. So if I can sleep in my clothes, or I can get up, put on my clothes, and put my tennis shoes by the door, then I know after I eat breakfast, the next thing is that I need to go walk on the treadmill, or I need to go run on the treadmill. Like, I know I need to create those chain habits. Now, if you're a male listener, maybe there's something that's the equivalent, but I find this also with taking birth control pills, right? I have to do it in a certain sequence. Otherwise, I will forget to take it. So I have to set up chain reaction goals. For me, I actually have it right by my keys as I go to head out the door. And then that way I don't forget, because I'm not going to forget my keys, and I see it and I take the pill. So finding something like that that works for you. For me, chain habits all the way, having a strong why all the way, and working towards MVP. The smallest thing that I can do to get me there. Now, there's a theory, I can't recall the name of the book. I actually haven't read it, but I had a friend tell me about it, where they were talking about working towards minimum viable product in a way that was very genius. The goal wasn't to work out every day. The goal was to get to the gym every day. So you wake up, or whenever you're going to go, and you make it to the gym. Well, obviously, once you get there, you're going to work out. But the goal isn't, I'm going to work out every day, because that can feel pretty big. Minimum viable product is getting your butt to the gym. So taking tools like that, seeing what's working for you and why, and seeing what's not working and why. So what's not working may be something like giving up sugar, and you haven't identified some loopholes. So then you see your absolute all-time favorite dessert. It's really rare, you never get to see it, you never get to eat it, so you obviously can't pass that up, but you've sworn off sugar. If you get it, you feel guilty and bad, and it doesn't taste as enjoyable, because the whole time you're like, I just gave up sugar and now I'm right back where I started, if you are anything like me. And the other side of that is, if you eat it and you hadn't planned on it, there's that guilt side, but then there's also that, well, today I ate that, so now let's just call it a free day and I'll have to start over again tomorrow. And when you break that chain, it can tell your brain that we're not able to do this and diminish your confidence. So something like that, you can see where those gaps are going to be. Set yourself up with a few planned loopholes. For me, I don't do sugar unless I see marzipan cake. And I love marzipan, and I love marzipan cake, and it's pretty rare. It's not something that you see a lot, right? At least not in my neck of the woods. And it's not something that's pretty common. So when I see it and people are offering it to me, I can't say no, and so that's my loophole. I don't eat sugar, except for if marzipan is in the picture, then that's planned for, and that's okay. The other loophole is if I'm in Disneyland, no trips planned, but need to put that loophole in just in case my husband surprises me. And the third one is a Christmas morning breakfast that my husband and I have, our only holiday tradition. So it has powdered sugar and jam and jelly and things like that. So I want to make sure that I'm planning for that and thinking in terms of holidays. Those are my three loopholes, so that I can eat sugar during those times and not feel guilty, not feel like I have to start over, and not have my brain going like, well, we tried, and see, this just shows that we can't give up sugar, right? We want to set ourselves up for success. Look for those things so that we can be more confident. And part of doing that is organizing what works, what doesn't work, and really evaluating the why. So take a look at what you have done in the past, what you're doing now, and analyze what worked, what didn't work, and why. So the next thing is what has worked for you in the past? How can you emulate that now? and understanding that what may have worked for you in the past may not work for you now. And that's okay. So back, I think when I was 23, something like that, 23 or 24, I kicked butt. I could go to the gym every day. I was highly motivated. It was all based out of I wanted to look good for some family pictures that were months down the line. I looked great. I worked really hard and I did it myself and I was fantastic. Lasted for about 6 months. I got to where I needed to be. Family pictures happened. Great. And then I fell off the wagon. So when I look back at that now, I'm like, well, I just need to have like a family picture or something coming up to really motivate me to do that. But then the problem is it's not a lifestyle change. So what worked for me before, I'm like, this isn't going to work for me now. I need to find something more long lasting. Also, I'm not 23 anymore, and I really am not spurred by wanting to look good in photographs to work out. I want to have the spur to work out because I want to be healthy. I want to have good movement, agility. I want to be better, faster thinking and emotionally stable. And that also comes from being physically able and physically healthy. I'm not going to say fit, but just healthy. And the ability for me to be able to do that in a way that works for me. So that's kind of the stuff I want you to be thinking about. What worked for you before? Why did it work for you before? And can you emulate it now? And or look at that and go, okay, that didn't have a long-term solution. How can I take what worked for me there, like going to the gym every day or a certain workout, and maybe try that in a different setting now that I'm older and I'm really a different person? So taking a look at that. The last thing is how can you, of course, organize that information to help you? So point of this whole episode, taking information that you know and using that to set yourself up for success. So when we can do this, we're identifying what's working and building our confidence. We're identifying what's not working and finding essentially contingency plans and ways to make it work to build our confidence. And the organization of all of those things really coming together builds our confidence because we feel set up for success. We've done contingency plans, we've done loophole planning, we know what works for us, we know what worked for us before and why it won't work now. We've identified all of these things and we feel pretty confident. And we're set up for success so that we can keep moving forward. So high level, too long, didn't listen. You got to listen to 7 minutes to get to this point, so I guess that's still the point. But too long didn't listen or too long didn't watch. If you got to this point, essentially what I'm saying is take a look at what's working, what's not working, and organize why those things are working and not working, and set yourself up for success to build your confidence and to get your goals. And tomorrow, one of my favorite topics, I spoke about it last week, is that success tracking every day. And I will put it in a context about goals, confidence building, and organization, which aligns with this week's theme, but also in how that tracking can help you, now that you're set up for success from today's episode, move forward and continue that progress and momentum. So be sure to tune in tomorrow. But in the meantime, check out what's working, what's not working, ask yourself why, and above everything else, remember, you are capable of happiness abound.